Welcome to Hindsight Hacking. I'm Corey Carter.
And I'm Ron Cool, and we've talked to hundreds of entrepreneurs hacking their hindsight to give you better foresight.
And now we're bringing you those same great interviews along with other mindset hacks, visibility hacks, and traffic hacks, and more to get you all the tools you need to gain more visibility and gain more traffic.
And of course, gain more sales. So head over to gethhm.com/toolbox to get all the free resources to help you get more.
And so, without further ado, let's get to it. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Daily Hacked. And today, we wanted to talk about leverage. Ron, what do we mean when we want to talk leverage?
Well, first you got to kind of push. No, guys. So we wanted to talk a little bit about leveraging. You can leverage your time. You can leverage platforms. It's about making sure you're on the right track to get the end goal you want to do. And you might have to leverage something, right? So I'm going to talk about time for a second. And this is kind of crazy, so just bear with me. I'm going to talk about it in network marketing terms, even though we're not in network marketing anymore. Okay. But it's about building teams. Right. And you can use this in online platform as you're bringing people into your group. But you have 40 hours and a dog going crazy at your house. So now the mindset, you're there. Dog going nuts at your house, 40 hours. So you got 40-hour work week. Corey, you have a 40-hour work week. Let's just say 80 hours. So now we can only grow up to 80 hours. Okay. But if we have multiple other people working with us that also work 40 hours, our company can now leverage their time to produce more assets for people. Right?
Yeah.
So that's how you can leverage time, not your time, but other people's time to benefit the goal you're trying to get.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, how can you leverage your business, right? How can you help leverage your time? And that, honestly, I think that the one thing that people forget and people maybe not do the greatest job of is scheduling, is time blocking, right? So if you're trying to fulfill on something, if you're trying to do sales calls, if you're trying to, whatever it is you're trying to do, if it's in the calendar and you've got it mapped out, then you won't get sucked into the rabbit hole of social media or Clubhouse specifically, or Messenger, right? Like if you've planned it out, then you'll look and be like, hey, I've got client fulfillment from this time to this time. I can't do anything else, right? Like I can't get on a phone call, right? Like you plan it out and you'll be able to get what you need done in the right amount of time, right? So I think that's where it's got to start. But then if you're trying to get your message out, if you're trying to get your voice heard, how can you leverage time? How can a person be in two places at once?
You got to find some who's that can help you leverage the things you don't know how to do, right? So let's say we're just going to use podcasting for a minute, right? So podcasting, there's certain things you have to do after you set up your show. So let's say you have a show. You have to record an interview. You have to edit said interview. You have to take out some of the words. If you do that, you have to add the beginning and the end. You have to publish said episode, the episode, right? And then you have to create marketing material. So you have to create creative to market said episode. Then you have to publish said episode. Now, out of the 6 things to do one podcast show, what's the one thing you have to do?
Record it.
Now there's 5 other things you don't have to do, but you have to get done to have that show out there. Now, you can decide, and we have a calculator to help with this, which is awesome. You can decide, okay, this is how much I make. This is how long it's going to take me. Is it worth me doing this? Is it cheaper for me to do all this, or can I leverage someone else's expertise to get these things done?
Right.
9 times out of 10, it is cheaper for you to leverage someone else's expertise because they have a system, they understand what they're doing. There's no friction for them. And then you can just focus on the things you're good at, which is going to sell X, Y, and Z.
Right. Right. And so that from a podcast perspective, there's 6 things, right? But the same thing it holds true for what if you want a website? What if you want to go do graphics? Like, okay, for a non-graphics person like me, maybe I can go to Canva and figure it out, but how long will it take me versus if I hired the right who that could do it in 20 minutes, right? And so utilizing the right who's, utilizing how to duplicate, things instead of doing a Facebook Live and a podcast, maybe you find a way to do it at the same time, right? Like, what can you leverage in your business to speed things up, right? You and I, Ron, there's 80 hours in our work week. Well, if we want to do 80 hours in fulfillment and client retention and sales, well, then certain things like our podcast, maybe we need to find a person to help, right? And that's just an example for us. But, I know there's social media aspects. I know there's, even filling our calendar aspects or managing our calendar aspects, right? Like, what are the things that somebody can leverage to make your business run smoother and faster, which then you can grow to the appropriate scale?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Ask me that again.
All right. So, just in general, right? Like if from a podcast or a website or graphics, right? Like everybody can find a who. So let's just say in our business, all right? Out of the sales activities we do, out of the podcasting we do, out of the calendaring we do, and the meetings we have, and the sales calls, and on and on and on. Like, what are some things that we could leverage?
Oh my gosh, a ton. So first off, you need a who that can handle whatever it is that we can leverage, right? So we can leverage our social media, right? And we have leveraged our social media. We have a VA that handles our social media because at the end of the day, even though we like doing social media, Corey won't pay me to do my own social media, even though I've asked him to. He said no. So I'm not going to pay him to do his. So we have to pay someone else to do both of ours. Math doesn't work, but it works out. And I will tell you, the mind share save it has been for me, not to worry about it. And I can't even speak for you, but I know the answer. It's been night and day. Like, stuff's going out there. People are noticing. People are talking about it. It's cool to just go on there and see I have like 15 new things that I didn't need to do anything to make it happen.
Yes. And the mind share piece, I think that's an unexpected reality. That's an unexpected win, right? Like and for anybody that's trying to leverage anything, right? Like also add into the cost, the mind share. Mm-hmm. And so for months, as we had our minds on trying to get all the content that we had out there, but we didn't have the help to get it out there.
Right.
Like that took a point of mind share that we couldn't actually give to our clients.
Right.
Right. And so like that is by far my favorite thing about having a VA help with that. So for you, business owner, what is that one thing for you that you don't love doing, but you know you need to do? Right. My mind share is expensive. So you need to get your voice out there. So if you need to get your voice out there via a podcast, guess what? Someone like Ron and I can help you get that off your mind, get that off your plate, and make it so all you do is that number one thing, record.
Yeah. And that's one thing that we can't do for you. It would be weird. And, maybe at some point we can, but we can't do that now. So understand, how can you get to a place in your business that you focus on the most important thing for your business, which is converting, getting sales, and focusing on the one thing that you got into business for. Now, everything else, if you can farm everything else out and focus on the one thing, how many hours a week did you gain? But how much further along can you accelerate the growth of your business if you eliminate the minutia stuff?
Yep. All right, everyone. That's all we got for you today. So find a way to leverage your time, help yourself scale, help yourself grow, help yourself get a better peace of mind, maybe even a little more R&R, whatever it is, find a way to leverage something in your business to make things go faster. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.
Guys, thanks for being the best part of the Hindsight Hackers community.